I'm about to I drive up and down Harlem blocks, iced out watch, knots in my socks. Cops think I'm selling rocks, pulling me over to see if I'm drunk. But I'm sober, they wouldn't fuck with me if I drove a no.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of First and Goal. I am your host, First and Goal. Do me a favor if you haven't already. Follow me on X/Twitter at First and Goal _FNG. That's FIRSTANGOAL_FNG. Also, now available on YouTube and other platforms where you get all your podcast needs. Now, let's get into the show. All right, Panther fans, Panther Nation, your boy is back. And today we're tearing into the Carolina Panthers 2025 draft class. 8 picks that could be the spark this team needs after a rough 2024. General Manager Dan Morgan went to work trading up twice, earning a A+ from PFF for this haul. So let's break it down pick by pick and talk about how these rookies fit into the Panthers' plans to turn things around. First up, everybody's fan favorite. We all know it, whether you like to admit it or not. Round 1, pick 8, T-Mac, Ted McMillan, wide receiver out of Arizona. And boy, oh boy, is this kid a game changer. His profile is 6'4" and an 1/8 inch, 200 plus pounds, absolute menace. I mean, think T. Higgins, think Mike Evans. I mean, this guy's catch radius is out of control. Primarily an X receiver, downfield / red zone threat. I mean, this guy's gonna tear an absolute, he's gonna run amok all over everybody. Just understand. But that will be his role primarily. Like I said, he'll be our X. He'll be a downfield red zone threat. And again, like I said, with his catch radius and his ball skills, absolutely insane. But let's move into a little bit of a breakdown on him. This kid's got elite ball skills, like I just said, size and catch radius. It makes him literally a high volume target and essentially an instant highlight reel. As I said already, compare him to a T. Higgs or a Mike Evans, right? McMillan excels at contested catches and generating first downs. So again, kind of what we were expecting XL to do, being that guy that can just jump up there, get those 50-50 balls. He was 80-20 in college. Can't really say what happened. I mean, he did have a little injury with his hands, with his wrist, whatever. You know, obviously he had some drop passes there last season. He struggled a little bit as a rookie, but definitely wasn't a guy that I was expecting to kind of hit the ground running. Definitely not. He's going to need a season or two to kind of figure it out. But nonetheless, we kind of expected him to do that. But I can guarantee you T-Mac will be that guy that we kind of wanted XL to be immediately. He's going to bring that juice, as I said, with his elite ball skills, size, and catch radius. Without a doubt, he's plucking them out of the air. I mean, that's exactly what he excelled at. And his production remained consistent, even despite coaching changes in Arizona. So there was a lot of things going on there in college for him, but he still managed to be consistent, put up good numbers, because, again, he just has all the tangibles. The guy's an absolute freak, and in a good way. So, he does need a little technical refinement in the route running, does have some, growth there. But, again, this guy's going to instant impact immediately with Pro Bowl potential in year 2. I almost can say I'm going to go out on a limb here and say offensive rookie of the year, y'all. Come on now. Not being a homer, I'll be honest, I wasn't the most thrilled with this pick immediately, just because, I'm on the side of, we needed the defense. We need defense. We got some pretty good edge rushers sitting out there. However, I didn't trust Dan's vision. I didn't think that some players would fall that were going to cover, but they did. And again, it was a home run. So, hindsight, looking at it, it's an amazing pick, and I'm all for it, and I'm here for it. His fit with the Panthers is going to provide Bryce with a reliable number one, a true X receiver. And again, complementing Leggett, Coker, and company, right? So, I mean, we got a pretty solid wide receiver core now. We also did get another wide receiver, which we're going to cover as well. So this is going to really enhance the offensive ability to stretch the field. And that was a big thing that we didn't do last season. And honestly, in a while now, we just really haven't had a deep threat. You know what I mean? Especially after we lost DJ Moore. So, like I said, it's going to enhance our ability to stretch the field, win in the red zone. And that's a key factor because, again, if we can't win in the red zone and we can't stretch the field, we're not going to be explosive. And we need to add some explosiveness to this offense. And we did just that. So let's cover, some stats that, Tet had in college in Arizona. He had 174 receptions from 2023 to 2024, with posting over 2,500 yards, receiving yards, which led the FBS, mind you, at 18 touchdowns, over 110 first downs, also led the FBS, plus had 20-plus yard catches. 42. His 20-plus yard catches were 42, which was also leading the FBS. So this kid, again, like I said, stats speak for itself. 18 touches, 174 receptions. I mean, this guy was the fuel of that offense over there in Arizona. His PFF receiving grade versus single coverage is over the 85 percentile or better, right? So this guy, you're covering him one-on-one, you got to double cover. So again, your team's got to use a safety or another corner to try to double team T-Mac, in this upcoming season. That's going to be problems for defensive coordinators, folks. That is going to be problems. Because now you're going to leave guys like XL wide open. You're going to leave guys like Adam Thielen wide open. You know what I mean? You're going to leave guys like Jalen Coker out there and other additional guys that we have. I mean, it's just going to set us up for success here. So, and let's not forget, we still got Chuba Hubbard there. Like we have some opportunities here to look extremely good offensively. This guy by himself really opens up a lot of opportunities. But yeah, I mean, back to his numbers here. I mean, yards per route run in the 85 percentile or better. Contested catch rate in the 85 percentile or better. So again, it doesn't matter. Double cover him, triple cover him, single cover him, you're cooked. He's going up there. He's plucking the ball out of the air. We're getting the first down. We're getting the touchdown. We're going to win. And that's absolutely, kudos, bravo, home run pick, unbelievable. Notably, McMillan's size and production makes him a cornerstone for our passing game, okay, and is addressing a critical need after the team ranked 30th, okay, in yards per attempt last season. So, again, I can't say enough about this pick. It's incredible. What a move by Dan and co to come up with this draft board here and stick to it. If you watch some of the recap on the stuff, which I'm sure most of my listeners are, in tune with the Panthers, you've seen it yourself too. I mean, we said they were kind of stuck there. They had some options, but I guess, David Tepper had a hand in it, said, no, let's get T-Mac, let's get this wide receiver. Not going to blast, David Tepper, but, it's funny because, he went from, what was it, saying that, if you got a point guard, you don't need wide receivers to now drafting 2 wide receivers in the first round. But anyways, it's all good. It's all good. Just let the coaches and the managers run the show, buddy. But you're doing good. You're kind of stepping back a little bit, not as much as a visible hand. So I do appreciate that. And not for nothing, like I said, kind of a head scratcher for me at first, but not trusting the vision of Dan and co. And the way the board fell was just absolutely incredible. It's a home run pick without a doubt. Bit of a head scratcher at first, but the way it fell and, moving on to the next picks here. Yeah. You know what I mean? It was a home run and it was honestly genius, especially hindsight. So moving on, again, T-Mac, beautiful pick, first pick, 8th overall. The kid's a stud. Moving on to our second pick, round 2, pick 51 was Nick Scorton, edge rusher out of Texas A&M. All right, and this kid's 6'3", 280. I mean, he's absolutely a beast. I believe he's more on the 280 side now. But, this guy's absolute menace. And again, a guy that I didn't think would fall to 51, especially when he was 29th on the PFF big board. So we got a guy that was 29th on the PFF big board at 51. So an absolute steal. home run again. I mean, I just can't say enough about this pick. I mean, we had to trade up to get it. Totally fine, because we literally made amazing moves this offseason, an A+ across the board. Everybody's giving us praises. I'm even stoked about our off seasons these last couple seasons. That's how I know we're going in the right direction, because generally I'm not very happy about it. This time and last year, I've been extremely happy. So we are definitely making the right decisions. But anyways, he was 257 or 260 or something like that. And then he bulked up when he went to Texas A&M. But his role is going to be a versatile pass rusher. He fits 3-4 or 4-3 fronts, which we're going to be a multiple unit anyways. We're going to be a base 3-4, but we're going to have 4-3 looks. So we're going to be moving things around here, especially per Dave Canales and an older presser. So he's going to fit right into the scheme. He combines size, pass rush moves, plus his scheme versatility is a perfect fit for the Panthers. I mean, an absolute perfect fit. He recorded 10 sacks and 15 tackles for a loss at Purdue in 2023, and leading Texas A&M with 5 sacks in 2024, even despite adding weight. Oh, I mean, this guy's obviously clearly a true and through football player. I mean, I've watched some of his pressers too. The dude's, all about ball, super focused, and you got to love that. He had a 91.7 pass rush grade against true pass sets over 2 seasons, ranking him in the 94th percentile. I mean, right there. So basically what that means is he wins. He wins on the edge. He wins in pass rush situations. And that's exactly what we needed. So we traded up for Scorton and is a long-term answer for us moving forward at that edge rusher position. So once again, kudos, absolutely kudos to Dan Morgan and co for what they have done in this draft class and this offseason. I mean, bravo. And again, the fit with the Panthers is, again, he's going to bolster our pass rush that ranked last in pressure rate in 2024. So, I mean, that right there is ridiculous that we were last in pressure rate. But again, we have a guy now that's going to win and get on the edge, especially pairing him with our next pick, Princely Umanmielen. Yeah, you heard me right. That's how you say it. To inject the youth as promised and essentially replacing Jadeveon Clowney. And now we have and something that I said in my blueprint that we could do and we do need is to have that franchise edge rusher, right? Some guys get 2 guys, double dip on the edge rushers, and that's exactly what we did. Double dip on the edge rushers, and now you have 2 young edge rushers that you can develop, and you don't have to worry about this position, which is a premium position, mind you. They don't come cheap. We don't have to worry about this now for years to come. A home run across the board. But moving on to some of his stats, like I said, he absolutely tore it up in college. In Purdue, he had the 10 sacks, 15 tackles for a loss. At Texas A&M, he had 5 sacks, which is a team high, and a pass rush grade of 91.7. Insane. Absolutely insane. So, I mean, this kid's just, I would say under the radar. They didn't really talk about him that much. They kind of really moved to Galen Walker and all that. But, I mean, he was just an absolute steal at 51. And, I just can't say enough about this guy. He fits everything we need. We got our edge rusher, and then moving on, paired him with another edge rusher. Round 3, pick 77, is when we snag up Princely Umanmielen. He's another edge rusher from Ole Miss, and, he's also got very nice size. He's a pass rush specialist, especially in that 3-4, so he fits exactly what we need, and he has elite pass rush metrics as well. Elite pass rush metrics with a 92.7 PFF pass rush grade, okay, and a 19.1 pass rush win rate over 4 seasons. Both are in the 94th percentile, okay? Again, analytic guy, what that stuff means is they win. And how do they win? They win on the edge. That's what that means, okay? This is an analytic stat that shows that when they pass rush, they win in these pass rush situations, meaning that they get home, they get the hurries, they're causing disruption. All right. So that's what this is exactly what we need. Guys that are going to get after the quarterback, guys that are going to win. They're going to be able to get off blocks. They're going to be able to get to the quarterback in a reasonable time to make disruptions. We're not going to just allow guys to be back there smoking cigarettes and just chilling, right? Because that's what has been happening lately. On top of not being able to stop the run, we can't even get home. So quarterbacks are just chilling back there. That ain't going to be the case anymore, especially with these two additions. So focused on technique and improvement in 2024, that improved Princely's, improved his PFF grade, making him 6 a month edge rushers. Okay. 6 a month edge rushers as far as his PFF grade went overall. So 91.1 overall PFF grade in college, 6 amongst edge rushers. High upside prospect, Umami Allen, again, was a target of a trade up by general manager Dan Morgan. So, ladies and gentlemen, Dan was the man with the plan. And this is what I mean by I didn't see the vision that he had. He knew some guys would fall. I didn't think this type of talent would fall, and it did. Granted, we did trade up a little bit to get him, but golly, we got him, and we are going to be cruising in 2025, folks. I know, it doesn't seem like these guys, even with the additions in the offseason, you can sit here and say, oh, well, there's no guarantee these guys are really going to come through and make a huge impact. No. We are going to look so much better in 2025, especially on that defensive side, especially with these additions on the edge rushing. I'm so excited for this season coming up. I can't wait. But anyways, moving on here, like I was talking about, the guy was absolutely crazy in college. 6 a month edge rushers. He adds depth and the future starter potential for a weak edge group that we have. He complements Scorton extremely well in addressing a dire need for Carolina, especially ranking dead last in NFL pressure rate last season in 2024 that it already has set. Once again, kudos, unbelievable, great job from Dan and Co. again. So on the stats a little bit, from 2021 to 2024, Princely played for Florida and Ole Miss. His career 92.7 PFF pass rush grade and 19.1 pass rush win rate were both in a 94 percentile. Absolutely insane. This guy just wins. Considered to be a better prospect than Scorton by some analysts. All right. So making his selection at 77, an absolute steal again for Dan Morgan. So, I can't say enough about this pick. Princely's going to tear it up. Watching some of his interviews and stuff like that, especially after he got drafted. They were asking him hey, who do you mold your game after? This, that, and the third. And first guy coming out of his mouth is Von Miller. Fortunately, we all know Von Miller for not the best of reasons. But, hey, I love to hear that. I love to hear that because Von Miller was a menace. You're emulating your game after a menace. That's what we need. We need a guy that can go out there and get after the quarterback like Von Miller. I'm not saying he is Von Miller. I'm just saying that's who he idolized his game after, molded his game after, all that stuff. So, yeah, we're getting a guy that wants to play like Von Miller. And not for nothing, watching his tape, I posted a lot of stuff about his tape. This dude, when he comes off the edge, his spin move is absolutely disgusting. I forgot who it was, but a gentleman on Twitter actually corrected me and told me, about it and was like, yeah, that move's called the ice pick. When he comes off the edge there, he's got a nasty spin move and he kind of drives that, that back elbow down, into the hand or into the back area of the tackle there. And it's crazy. The tackle has no chance. He's knocking dudes down with this ice pick move and it's incredible. Very, very awesome to watch. So, that he's just going to continue to grow and, and develop that move. So, watch out for these two edge rushers. Again, these are going to be our franchise guys. These are going to be guys that we develop throughout the years here. And, generally, in 3-4 years, I think Prince Muellen also said that, he's going to break our pockets. So, and I don't mind that because he was a little upset that he got taken at 77. Like I said, some prospects did say that he was better than Scorton, but hey, we got them both. So again, a crazy home run hit for Dan Morgan. I'm absolutely stoked. An incredible job just across the board with this draft class. But moving on to round 4, pick 114, we got Trevor Etienne, running back out of Georgia. Some people were kind of about this pick, But honestly, if you're really deep into the Panthers here, you would have known that they already had said last season that JB, Jonathan Brooks, will not be playing this year. So I already knew he wasn't going to be playing this season. And, before they re-announced it again, before rookie minicamp here. So drafting a running back makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, having JB is great, but if he's not playing, we need somebody. I know we got Rico Dwaddle, but he is only going to be a 1-year filler, a stopgap or whatever they call that. Basically, he's not going to be here long term. He potentially could be, but, he's going to want a decent contract. We're just not going to be able to afford all these running backs. So drafting one makes sense. And especially getting a guy who's about 5'9", 200 pounds, change of pace back, pass catcher, kind of return specialist is perfect because that's exactly what we need. We need that third down, change of pace back. This guy has a little power to him too, so he can show us a little bit of that. But that's kind of the role he's going to play when we get to the season here. And again, also a guy that's young that we can develop and have somebody behind Chuba Hubbard. And we also don't have to just run Chuba Hubbard into the ground. We don't want to do that. If you're a Panther fan, we like to run our players into the ground, and we have a former player here that knows that you don't want to do that. So as our GM, so that's great. But anyways, his strengths are, he's compact, elusive runner with speed. He's got receiving skills. He forced 30 missed tackles on 126 rushes in 2024, despite missing time, scoring 9 touchdowns with only 1 fumble. He has return experience, which adds value. This guy's going to be pretty solid. Again, there was, like I said, it was kind of questioned because we got Jonathan Brooks and everything. But when I get it at 4th, that's kind of high. But we need a running back. We need to have a stable running back room, and that's essentially what that provides. So now we'll have 3, after Rico Dwaddle moves on, we'll have 3 solid younger running backs that we can rotate, and that is absolutely huge. So basically, he'll serve as a number 3 behind Rico Dwaddle and Hubbard, offering a different dimension with his speed and pass catching ability. But again, nothing too crazy here. He is brothers of Travis Etienne, so he's got some explosiveness and all of that. So I'm sure that kind of played a factor into it. But nonetheless, he had pretty good stats over in Georgia. He had 126 attempts with 9 touchdowns, only 1 fumble. As I said, he forced 30 missed tackles. So the guy can definitely either shake and bake you or run right through you. He's got some, pass catching capabilities. So I think it's a decent pick. Again, we're addressing a need long term. This is what we have to start thinking long term here. We can't just, the problem is a lot of focus gets to the short term, and that's not how franchises are successful. You have to think long term to be successful. That's the only way this works. All right. Trevor Etienne, running back out of Georgia, 4th pick, not too shabby. Definitely going to help us. And now, like I said, we have a nice young running back room, and it's a part of this youth movement, but, mixed with a little bit of vetness there, but a nice youth movement. And not for nothing, you want your running backs to be young because they're going to be getting hit a lot. So, but don't hate this pick. Love it. I think it's good. Adds the depth. That's what we need. There's probably better options there at that pick, but I'm not going to knock it again. I believe and trust in Dan and Co. And he had a vision, and it honestly worked out. So I love this. Moving on in the 4th round, still at 122, we went and grabbed Lathan Ransom, safety out of Ohio State. Absolutely love this pick. This guy's a literal walking hit stick. He's a 6 foot, 200 plus box safety, run defender, and potential big nickel guy for us. This guy, he's just, like I said, a hit stick, dude. He's going to come down, clean up like nobody's business. He's going to put the boom on you. Absolutely. He's going to, you just better be ready if you're whatever, running back coming out on his own run there. He's going to lick you. So absolutely love it. He's a tone-setting defender with instincts and toughness. Excels in run defense. Dude had a 93.5 PFF grade, which was the highest in FBS. Come on. Like I said, this dude's going to come down and put a lick on you, and you're going to be seeing stars. This guy's no joke, an absolute menace. Now, I'm not saying he's going to be coming out there day one, making picks, force and fun, all that stuff. No. I'm just saying that this guy is a great developmental piece that we needed at safety, 100%. But like I said, a 93.5 PFF grade says enough. Forcing turnovers as well. He's had 3.5 sacks. He had 3 interceptions and 6 forced fumbles. over 5 seasons. Like I said, he's going to hit you, and you're gonna feel it without a doubt. He does lack elite speed for deep coverage, but he is strong in the box and against the run. He can still close out a little bit, so I'm not sure where we're going to put him. I'm assuming he's going to play behind Trayvon Merrick at strong safety, but we'll see what they do with him. We'll see what they do with him. But he played 56 games at Ohio State, including a key role in their 2024 championship game. So can't say enough. Can't say enough. He definitely complements our free agent signing, like I said, Trayvon Merrick, and it addresses a thin safety room, helping the run defense again. What was our biggest problem last season, besides just having a bomb defense, and not in a good way, stopping the run? And we all know that. And I've said it on many of my pods. Stopping the run was the biggest issue. We got to stop the run. We need guys that can just come down, clean up, guys that are nasty and want to get in there and break up plays. That's what we're doing. That's what we're getting. We're getting those dogs. You know what I mean? As Dan Morgan said last season, we're getting them dogs. We're creating that culture, that tenacity, right? He's going to help a run defense that allowed 179.8 yards per game. That's insane, bro. We averaged almost 150. Come on, man. I don't even know what we're talking about right now. Worse than the NFL. So worse than the NFL when it comes to stopping the run. We got a guy that's going to come down and just lay people out. Absolutely menace in stopping the run. Huge pick. Love this guy. A little bit of an Ohio State fan too, so I guess I'm going to kind of be the homer on this, but Lathan Ransom was a menace. Watch his tape. And he can play, coverage a little bit. He can play deep in coverage. He's not the greatest there, but he can do it, and something we can develop him into being. But again, having one of the best run defense grades in college last season, it's a no-brainer. Again, he's not the ball hawking safety some expect, but his run stoppability aligns with Carolina's need to fix their atrocious run defense. So an absolute home run, and I absolutely love it, and it was a fantastic pick. So again, great job, Dan and Co. Moving on, around 5 here, we got at pick 140, Cam Jackson, defensive lineman from Florida, 6'3", 28, tackle, run stuffing, interior lineman. Again, this guy is going to be a rotational guy here, but we're seeing a trend here. Run stuffing, run stopping, big guys, right? You know what I mean? Guys that are tenacious. That's a culture. This is what this is. Mindsets. We're getting guys that are just nasty, all right? And this guy has a massive frame, and he occupies space and eats double teams, which is going to free linebackers, right? He's a strong run defender, but limited as a pass rusher. But that's okay because we got 2 edge rushers that are going to be doing that job. We need you to stop the run because that's a big issue on top of many others. But this guy is going to be, again, occupying space, freeing linebackers, and a strong run defender. He does lack a deep toolbox for sub-packages downs, but his size and power make him a high floor addition to a defense line needing reinforcement. So he's going to be in rotation here with Bobby Brown. And again, it addressed the league worst run defense last season. He was pretty solid in college. Cam Jackson, solid pick. Watch some of his tape. He's definitely a space eater, fits our scheme, and fits what we need defensively moving forward to make this team better. All right, and now moving on to our next pick in the 5th round at 163, we have Mitchell Evans, tight end out of Notre Dame. 6'5", around 250, 260 there, somewhere in between there. He's a versatile TE2 inline blocker and a possession possession tight end. And he's a well-rounded, functional blocking and reliable hands. He did play with was at Brock Bowers, I believe, and I believe Tommy Tremble as well. So again, he comes from Notre Dame. He's got some familiarity with some of our teammates already, which is awesome. But yeah, I mean, he watched his tape. He can definitely block. He's got some reliable hands. He's kind of an all-purpose guy. Reminds me a little bit of Tommy Tremble a little bit. I would say maybe a little bit of a possession receiver than a Tommy Tremble, but I mean, I think people be sleeping on TT as well when it comes to the pass game. I think TT's a threat. He can definitely be a threat. We just kind of don't really utilize him like that. But anyways, he did recover from ACL surgery and posted a strong 2024 season. He does lack elite speed and playmaking, but he fits the 12 personnel packages. We do like to run some of those. And again, having him and like Tommy Tremble out there, we're going to see some old Notre Dame tape coming out quick. This guy is we're going to be able to run the ball. without a doubt. He does have some athleticism to him. He's definitely not the twitchiest guy, but he's also, you know what I mean, not slow and clunky either. So definitely like the pick. We needed a tight end. We needed somebody else in that room, and he definitely obviously has some injury history, but he can potentially be a TE1 with some proper development. And he adds some depth to a weak tight end room, which again ranked 32nd, even with Jatavion Sanders and Tommy Tremble kind of rising a little bit. We need to add some juice to that room, and we did. And we definitely did with this guy. So at Notre Dame, he had 77 receptions for 900 yards and 5 TDs. So his versatility aligns with our offensive scheme. He just needs to stay healthy to maximize his role. And I think everything can come together from that. But I really do like this pick. It's a kind of a in later round picks, so not talked about too much, but I think Mitch Evans is going to be good for us. I could see him taking some early snaps and getting some early reps for us when the season starts. So look out for him. I'm a little bit intrigued to see how we use him. Again, I see him being used in that 12 personnel. But I'd like to see him run some routes out there too, see what he can bring, see what type of juice he has in the pass game. So really excited about him, and who knows what can happen. But yeah, so moving on, we got round 6 here, our final pick. We took at 208. Jimmy Horn Jr. He's a wide receiver out of Colorado. All right. Kind of an undersized guy at 5'8", 170. That's being a little generous, but he's a speedy slot receiver / deep threat with explosive vertical speed. So this was a home run pick here. This guy should have been, honestly, in my opinion, picked a little earlier because he's, like I said, he's got the juice. He definitely has the juice. He's got really good hands, but the explosive vertical speed is the biggest thing that I've noticed watching his tape. He's capable of turning short throws into big gains. He's best on quick hitters or deep routes, but he's limited by his lean frame. I get like D-Jack vibes a little bit, from him. Old school type stuff. I think you can hit him in this, quick slant. You could take it for, 15 yards after that. I don't want to see too many screens with him because I just feel like we bomb screens. But yeah, probably one of my more exciting picks. I know there's a lot of hype on him on Twitter right now, which is pretty funny for a 6th-round pick, but I love it. I absolutely love that. But yeah, like I said, he's best on those quick hitters, deep routes, limited by his lean frame, but he recorded 11 receiving touchdowns and 1 rushing touchdown over 4 years, So pretty, it's pretty modest for his athleticism, but he showed promise, especially at the most recent rookie minicamp. He adds a deep threat element to our wide receiving corps with McMillan, Leggett, Coker, Thielen. Big thing that we needed too in that room was speed. He 100% brings us the speed that we need, which was we were also ranked 30th in yards per attempt in 2024. So that speed will kind of help us there. But again, he's a late round flyer, but his speed will definitely be super helpful for us to make some big plays. He's got that big play ability coupled with T-Mac, coupled with the other additions that we got. Golly, man. This team from 2024 to 2025, night and day. And I'm going to say before we move on here, the biggest and most awesome thing that we're moving forward with here is that we have the same coaching staff, the same front office, right? Everybody's still there. We're not going through any coaching changes. We're not going through any staffing changes. We're not losing, this, person in the front office. We're not, we don't have the new AGM or GM coming. None of that. All those distractions are gone. We still have the same head coach from the season before, where he can build off of the things that worked last season, take the things out that didn't work, right? Build off the things that did. Dan Morgan's literally bringing us pieces that are incredible. The moves and the savvy from this guy is just incredible. Just everything that we've been doing has been right. And I haven't been able to say that in a very long time. Been a fan since 95. I think this is the best that I've seen the team do, in my opinion, ever. And especially since I've really been watching the team and doing analysis. This is the best I've seen it. And I couldn't be more happier with the direction that we're moving. I honestly really feel like we will be 100% a playoff team this season. And we're going to definitely shock the world. But I just can't say enough about what Dan Morgan and Dave Canales have done for this team. It makes me want to shed a little tear because of how much passion and love I have for the team. To see that also being reciprocated from our front office and our coaching staff is incredible. Absolutely incredible. So again, kudos to Dan Morgan and company for getting this done, getting it done right. So the offensive impact that's going to happen, the Panthers offense was ranked 26th in passing yards and 30th in yards per attempt in 2024. We get significant firepower. McMillan is a potential wide receiver one, giving Young a reliable target, right? Similar to like a T. Higgins or a Mike Evans, right? Horn speed stretches defense, complementing McMillan, XL, and company. ETN's selection is a little bit puzzling given the crowded backfield, but his explosiveness adds a change of pace element, that we need. Evans provides depth and versatility at tight end and a position of need. Though he's not a game changer, he's still going to be there making plays and setting us up well in a 12 personnel, moving the chains in the run game. It brings depth that we need. Good teams have depth. If you look at all the good teams, even when they suffer injuries, they still win games because they have good depth. This is what we're doing, and this is fantastic. So this group's aims to elevate Young's development and improve red zone efficiency, which we ranked 29th in red zone touchdown percentage last season. So right there, we have a huge impact to the offense. We got some game changers on there now. We got some speed on there now. We got some guys that can help in the pass and in the block game. You know what I mean? So like we're making the right decisions, getting the right culture guys and the right guys that fit the scheme. Defensively, the defense, which allowed the most points last season and rushing yards in the NFL, receives much needed overhaul. Scorton and Emmanuel Ellen form a promising edge duo, addressing the league's worst pressure rate at 18.7. Now, mind you, I just talked about, their pressure rates. They ranked alone, not as a team, alone. Emmanuel Ellen ranked 19, was like 19.1, 19.7. Either way, by himself, he had that. As a team, we couldn't even get that. So that's just to give you an idea here, folks. So we're addressing the league's worst pressure rate, which was us, and we're adding guys to juice that up. Now, Jackson's size strengthens the interior against the run on top of all the other additions that we got in our free agency, which I went over with my boy IBL Smooth. Shout out to him in the most recent podcast. So if you didn't check that out, go ahead and check that out because me and him break down everybody. So again, with those additions plus him, our interior line is going to be stacked. And then on top of that, we're adding Ransom's run defense and prowess and physicality. To help a secondary that struggled with tackling as well. We brought in another guy in the free agency, Trayvon Merrick, who's also efficient at tackling. So again, we're starting to see a pattern here with not only the draft, but with the free agency and in general. Like there's a plan. Like we're doing it. We're doing it. You're doing it, Peter. You know what I mean? Like, we're doing it, y'all. Like, this is crazy. Like, for the good. I'm just like, I'm so excited. I can't believe it. But yeah, so like I said, we're getting guys like Lathan Ransom, who is incredible at stopping the run. Might not have been the greatest, at ball hawking, but he's going to come down and put a hit on you. You're going to fumble that ball. You know what I mean? You're not going to be able to run the ball on us anymore. We're going to be able to hold these guys down. We're going to be able to be more efficient defensively. Okay. This class prioritized foundational pieces for Evero's 3-4 scheme with Scorton, Amami Ellen offering immediate pass rush upside and Jackson and Ransom improving run defense. So once again, bravo to Dan and co. So overall, Dan's Morgan's draft executed with 2 trade ups for our edge rushers earned them an A+ from PFF. So you can sit here and say what you want about me and my show. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm sitting here saying that we've had great off seasons, especially this one, probably the best I've seen in ever. And PFF, a source everybody trusts, also agrees. So they gave him an A+. I'm giving him an A+. And again, for targeting high upside players at premium positions like wide receiver and edge, and also addressing glaring needs. Unbelievable. The focus on defense, again, was incredible. Same with offense, absolutely perfect. So we couldn't ask for anything better. We basically got 4 guys that can come in and be immediate contributors, and we have some developmental talents as well. Again, he hit an absolute home run, and I can't say enough about everything that we have done this offseason And in this draft class, absolutely incredible. And I can't say enough. I can't say enough. So that's definitely going to be a wrap for the draft recap here. What do y'all think of this draft class? Is McMillan the key to unlocking Bryce Young? Can Scorton and Mommy Ellen turn this pass rush around? Hit me up on X at @firstandgoal_FNG and let's talk about it. Let me know. Get after me. But like I said, that's going to be it for the draft recap episode. Follow me on X, subscribe on YouTube, catch me on all your podcast platforms. I appreciate everybody for listening. Until next time, God bless, stay safe, and as always, keep pounding.